Hey everybody, as you're seeing from the video thumbnail, read that carefully. Low wind problem using a 24 volt turbine on a 12 volt system. This is for off grid, or using a 48 volt on a 24 volt system. Now you can do this, it's not going to hurt your batteries. Free voltage on a car alternator can hit 60 volts, so you ain't got nothing to worry about. Your batteries become the capacitance to hold that voltage down. The difference is we're going to explain. So I've got a lot of people saying, hey man, I ain't got much wind. I've got a long distance to my house or to my garage. Can I use a 24 volt wind turbine on a 12 volt system? I heard it's possible. Can I use a 48 volt on a 24? I know one guy's using a 1200 watt 48 volt on a 12 volt system with a choke, horseshoe choke. And I'll hopefully, if I can discuss that later, I will. I'll show you how to physically make a horseshoe choke. And it actually helps you stack 3 horseshoes, you wind them with the wire gauge you need, and you actually stack them together, and they will keep the spikes out of your battery from a 48 volt system. We'll go further on that later. But let's start out with what we're dealing with here. Now, what we're dealing with is low wind issues. So I'm living in, let's see, Arkansas. And I'm up there in North Arkansas, near the Ozarks. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all ain't got no freaking wind. Anybody trying to put in a turbine, sell a turbine, manufacture a turbine, hawk a turbine, trade a turbine for a bag of methamphetamine, I think that's what they do there, ain't gonna do you no damn good. You can't really test your products, you can't test your outcome, you can't test your mechanics, you can't test anything because you don't have that consistent wind like I do. Because I have consistent wind and I have consistent power, and the thing is that if you don't, we need to talk. So, do I want to take a 24 volt turbine and put in my 12 volt system? Oh, sure. If my normal winds are 6 to 12, maybe I don't want to do wind power at all. Maybe I double my solar. If my normal winds are 8 to 15, then yes, a 24 volt turbine will reach the cut-in voltage of a 12 volt battery at a much lower wind. So what you're looking at is, if you need, say, 10 mile per hour for that to work on a 24 volt system, but you only need 7 for it to work on a 12 volt system. And for this, the difference though, however, is that if it's a 500 watt turbine, and now if it's one of these 500 watt turbines, hell, you might get nearly 500 watts of 12 volts. But if it's the regular marketed 500 watt turbine, you will get about 250 to 300 watts over here. Now the reason is that coming in high voltage converted to 12 volts, you're going to lose. And the same way over here, you don't have the windings, the thickness of the wire, the gauge in the windings. So a 48 volt turbine is going to have very fine windings. That's the wires inside of the core. And a 24 volt will have slightly smaller, and a 12 volt will be honking big like your car alternator in your car. And you need the bigger windings to absorb the energy to create the lower voltage and the higher amperage. Now, the thing about low wind problems is that a lot of people will buy a turbine, they'll buy a 12 volt turbine, they'll cry a river about how it doesn't produce, except they don't really want to look at the big picture. I don't got 20 mile an hour winds. If you don't got that, the solutions don't do that. Now, you can go with a 24 volt rated turbine on a 12 volt system, and when you hook your controller up to the 12 volt system, it does the braking against that turbine as a 12 volt system because it's recognizing the battery, not the turbine. So let me draw another graph here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, now we're back to the same issue, low wind problem. Now, you'll hear this terminology all the time, cut in. Now, cut in means that that's when your turbine at a wind speed will exceed your battery bank volts. So if you have a 24 volt system and you're currently sitting at 24 volts, that means the wind speed required to get above that amount. So before that, your turbine is spinning, it's making power, it's not reaching that yet. It has to reach that amount to start dumping amps into the battery bank. And the same way, if it's a 12-volt system, say like normally a 12-volt system would sit at, in my case, I'm not 13, but say it's 12, and you're sitting at 12 volts, and so your wind speed, if you have a 12-volt wind turbine, needs to reach about 8 to 8.5 miles per hour, and then it will exceed 12.8, which is the general static voltage of your battery bank. So you have the same problem with a 24-volt battery bank, usually sets at about 25 volts static, and you're going to have to reach a wind speed way above that. So if you have a 24-volt turbine and you're trying to reach that wind speed, it's going to have to be around 8 to 9 miles per hour. So the same scenario. But if you're wanting to know, can I use a 24-volt turbine, transfer my power a longer distance? Yes, you can. About 1/3 further than a 12-volt can transfer. So in the case of a 12-volt turbine, say 500 watt, you can go up to about 68 feet as long as you're using 10 gauge. And if you're using 8 gauge, you can run about 108 feet maximum. Anything more than that, you're just becoming a loss factor. You don't want to go there. But if you'll look here, down there in black is miles per hour. I don't want to put it in meters per second so that screws with people. Miles per hour, convert to kilometers if you need to. But in the miles per hour, you're looking at a 12-volt turbine, cuts in at 8.5. That's pretty normal. I have, the ones I have, they also have a model that's like that 500 that does and will cut in at 7 even and exceed 13 volts as it goes higher. Now, as it goes higher, of course, its volts will go higher, but your battery bank, once it hits, it's going to start converting that to amps and dumping it in your battery bank. Over here on the 24-volt turbine, you might not think that that's a very important difference, all right? Just a couple of volts difference, basically 2 volt or 2 miles per hour difference. But if you're running a low wind, you're going to get 6 or 7 miles per hour all the time, and you need to cut in. You need to get that charge into that 12-volt battery. Then a 24-volt is a useful option. However, generally it'll only produce half the wattage. So if it's a 500-watt turbine, you're going to get 250 watts. Better some than none, especially like, in the wintertime. And if you're trying to figure out, I've got 13 mile per hour winds, and that's as good as it gets, then you might want to go with a 24-volt turbine, because in the long haul, it will reach cut in and exceed battery bank constantly, when this one will not. So if you are in a practically no wind zone, like in somewhere like in a few places that I've seen on the map, you could go with a 48, but realize that a 500-watt turbine might only give you a peak power output of about 9 amps max, so 1/4 to 1/3 in its full capacity at 25 miles per hour. That's it. So now you're saying, how many watts will I get? Well, you're going to get half the watts. So if cut in over here is 1 amp right there, and cut in over here is a half of an amp, and cut in for the other one at 6 miles per hour, 48 volt, is a 1/4 of an amp. But the way a wind turbine works is it literally jumps very quickly in amps and watts. So once you get past cut in and it's dumping it into the battery, it will go fast. So in the case of, let's go here, the 6 3/4 mile per hour. Now I've done this in numerous tests. I've installed over 200 wind turbines for people. And I've done a lot of 24s on 12-volt system. I have done a lot of 48s on 24-volt system, because you can see here on a 24-volt system, it's going to be running roughly 6 and just barely under 7 miles per hour. It'll charge 24-volt batteries from a 48-volt turbine. Now, that's one of the reasons I've been installing the Hurricane wind power turbines, because they actually have a stepped up voltage system, and they work great. 48-volt turbine on a 24 system, and they're bulletproof. So below the video, I'll put links to all these different turbines. You guys go look them and you'll see what I mean. But 48 volt will charge a 24 volt system in low winds better than a 24 will charge a 24 system, because you got to reach, you got to get up here and get past a certain level. To get to 24 volts, you're looking at 8.5 miles per hour, when down here, believe it or not, that little bit of difference, that 1.5 miles per hour, makes a huge difference. And where it really makes a difference is that if you're not like me, you're not going to constantly have 20 mile per hour, but you're going to have 6 to 15. Then you definitely want to use that option, a 24 volt turbine on a 12 volt system. And even in a windstorm, it's not going to matter. It's not going to hurt it. It's not going to do anything different. The slip ring will handle it better, believe it or not. 48 volt slip ring will handle it better. A 12 volt's just an amp monster. You can look in the previous video where I show, I think, 1,400 watts coming out of this little 800 watt turbine, and its slip rings put under load big time. There's a lot of amps, 100 amps. So over here, the options that you have is that you're trying to reach cut in, because you say your wind speed's a constant 12. Well, you'll never produce much power with a 12 volt system using a 12 volt turbine that way, but you will, because the turbine will stay running fast. You understand? It will stay running faster. Its RPMs will stay up. The 12 volt, the RPMs will drop because the windings are creating a heavier load, like an electric braking system, just from the battery. But the 24 volt is just kind of casting over the top of the battery, dropping its amps in, and it works great. It actually works good. 48 volt for the 24 works good. So I'm hoping y'all understand that. Post some questions below if it confuses you a little bit. But I'm trying to explain some things that people asked about, this cut-in thing. And what it means is when you exceed your battery bank's nominal volts, it's static volts. In this case, a 12.8, about 25.5, and up here is about 52 volts. When it exceeds that in your battery bank is when it's going to give the battery bank power from the wind. And the only time you're going to do that in really low wind conditions is to get a higher voltage turbine. Now, I would suggest a 48 for a 24. I'd suggest a 24 for a 12 volt system if your wind speeds are 15 and below, and then you're going to get results. You won't be getting the rating of the turbine you bought, but you'll get results. If you buy a 12 volt for a 12 volt system and you got 15 or less winds, you're going to be mad. You're going to blame the turbine company. They didn't do it. You didn't have the wind. So if you're wanting to maintain your batteries like I do, and you're wanting to know why in a battery that this system, this works so well, let me come over here. This rectifier, as these three phases come in, break it, and then when it does, it makes it like a little chirp. And what that does going into the battery is it's like an on and off as it goes into the battery. Well, the plates in the battery, they like that because it breaks apart stuff that might collect in your battery. It's a pulse. So you've seen these pulse repairs that they use for refreshing batteries. That's what a wind turbine does, because you got to remember, this is cutting off. This whole system is cutting off as it's feeding over. So it's only getting pulses of the negative and a feed of the positive as the power feeds in. And that can make a lead acid battery literally double its life. So is a 24 volt turbine worth it on your 12 volt system to extend your investment in your batteries? Hell yeah. All right, guys. I hope that made sense. I'm tired. Y'all be good.